Hello everybody, it's Anna here again today, and today we are at St Trullo's Chapel here in Rhos-on-Sea in North Wales, visiting the smallest church in the United Kingdom. So come along and join us, you're very, very welcome. Don't forget, welcome in Welsh is croeso. So yes, here we are at St Trullo's Chapel on Marine Drive in Rhos-on-Sea, just facing the water really, facing the sea. And this tiny building is thought to be the smallest church in the British Isles. It has seats for just 6 people, and it's named after St Trullo, who was a 6th century saint who built his cell here. And you can actually go to a communion service there held here in the church weekly. And this 6th century chapel by the sea is on the site of a pre-Christian sacred holy well. And this tiny plain stone-roofed building is about just 11 feet by 8 feet, with walls 2 foot wide, and under the altar is St Trullo's holy well. And according to the National Churches Trust, this is the smallest church in Great Britain with a big view, and we'll be scanning that in a minute and going down onto the beach to show you all of the visitors that are down. So it is named after, like I said, a 6th century saint, a 6th century monk, and it sits over a natural spring. And you will see where the well is. There's the altar, and just underneath is the well, or the natural spring. There we are. So St Trullo from the 6th century, who built his hermitage here, the spring here in the chapel supplied him with drinking water and probably influenced the decision to build it in this place. And for centuries this well provided water for baptisms. It also had a long tradition of healing properties. This present building dates back to the beginning of the 16th century, but most probably it was founded on the foundations of an earlier one built by the monks of Aberconwy Abbey. And this chapel by the sea, chapel in Welsh is capel by the way, this chapel by the sea is on the site of a pre-Christian sacred holy well, like I said, with the altar built directly over the pure water of the well. I must add as well, because I haven't mentioned it, that this chapel is a Grade 2 listed building. And this tiny chapel almost on the seashore at the Llandudno end of the promenade at Llandrillo and Rhos-on-Sea, it is widely held that this is the smallest church in Britain, and most definitely according to the National Churches Trust, it is the smallest church in Britain. The chapel that stands there now was substantially rebuilt with new walls and a roof at the end of the 19th century. However, it occupies the site where St Trullo was thought to have established his first church in the 6th century. Just wanted to clarify that. So yes, like I said, the chapel stands on the foreshore now, and it was restored in its present form with new external walls and roof about 120 years ago. And like I said, it is named after St Trullo, the 6th century Celtic saint who built his cell here. And Celtic monks usually built an enclosure around their cell so that they could farm to feed themselves. This was known as a llan, and Rhos means marsh. So Llandrillo and Rhos, that's the Welsh name for Rhos-on-Sea, means St Trullo's enclosure by the marsh, as the surrounding area was originally very marshy. Thus, St Trullo gave his name to today's village, Rhos-on-Sea, in Welsh, Llandrillo and Rhos. And that's the history of the smallest church in Great Britain, and we're down on the beach now. It was a very busy day when we went and there were so many people about. There's the seagulls, and yes, just thought I'd give you a little look around. Don't forget, sea in Welsh is môr, sky is awyr, church is eglwys, and chapel is capel. So we'll leave it there for today at St Trillo's Chapel, the smallest church in the United Kingdom. And we'll say ta-ta for now, and we'll see you on the next adventure, or the next Welsh lesson, or the next Welsh history lesson. Don't forget to keep practicing your Welsh, because practice makes perfect. Ta-ta for now. Nos da.